Guys, it's a sad fact of life that not all what ifs on my channel last that long. Take my what if Izuku was Sans what if, for example, and my my whole was it Natsu or was it Asta? Asta is from Black Clover, so it was Natsu. It must have been Natsu. Natsu versus, like, not versus. Natsu X Fem. Kaneki. Whatever the frick's name is. Take those what is, for example. They didn't last for very long. Hell, I have several what ifs that have ended. Hell, the Ukiura reincarnation one ended. So, what I'm doing here is just saying that this might as well be the final part of what if Izuku was Sephiroth for this channel. Because I do indeed believe, we are coming to our peak here. Because last time, in our little story, we dealt with the whole Yakuza problem. And so now the only real opposing force that would really be a threat would be basically the Meta Liberation Army. Redestro and his Meta Liberation Army. Long-nosed, orange-haired, freaking whatever that he is, Redestro. And his Meta Liberation Army. Do they really stand a chance against Sephiroth, to be honest? Like, Sephiroth Deku. Like, Izuku, at this point, could just blow up the planet if he wanted to. But then there'd be nowhere for him and Magni. So, yeah, and he also likes Eri, and Magni likes Eri. So. Plus, they kind of have overhaul underneath, like, Izuku's thumb. So, yeah, he's kind of in there, sandwiched in there somewhere. And, you know, the Yakuza are basically just subservient to the Meta Liberation Army. I guess you could say it'd be a full-out war, like the Yakuza versus the Meta Liberation Army. Basically, Redestro is just like, you have a chance now. You can either surrender or be destroyed. And Izuku is just like, Kachisaki, overhaul. Get your ass over here. I need you to send this man a message. That not only am I about to end his whole career, but that he can freaking suck it. Basically, yeah, that message is relayed to Redestro. Not only that he's gonna end his whole career, but that he can suck it. And Redestro is just like, oh, they always have to be difficult. However, the thing about this Redestro is Yakuza have Quark erasing bullets, so any of your soldiers, whatever quirks they have, basically, the only thing they're going to be useful with is hand-to-hand combat and, guns and, like, swords. That's the only thing they're really going to be useful for because, the quirk erasing bullets that the Yakuza have can just freaking mow down. Like, get rid of all that shit. That freaking quirks. And, Izuku's even found out, like, a harmless way to manufacture these quirkless, like, basically, a harmless way to manufacture these quirk erasing bullets. It's still extracting blood from Eri, but it doesn't hurt her. He basically just uses the life stream, and it extracts some blood from Eri, and that's basically all that's needed, and some other scientific mumbo-jumbo in order to make the stuff for the quirk erasing bullets. So basically, Izuku has, found out that he can use the life stream to make the process painless. And, but still allow them to have a fresh supply of quirk erasing bullets. To mow down these freaking, Meta Liberation Army yahoos. Who the hell do they think they are? Like, stepping on our turf, on our terrain. And so, yeah. Redestro just gets like... He gets Gigantomachia over here to kind of deal with Izuku himself. And, Chisaki is like... Should I warn him about the freaking giant mofo who's about to kill us all? Yeah, I should probably warn him. And, well, Izuku's like, you better have a good reason for waking Eri up. Like, with your yelling, Chisaki. And, basically, like, overhaul Chisaki, you'd basically be like, there's a giant mofo, and he's, like, basically, the Meta Liberation Army, Redestro's Meta Liberation Army, basically just sent this giant mofo. What was his name? Oh, yeah, Gigantomachia. Sent him over here to deal with us. And Izuku's like, oh, they never learn. And all of a sudden, Gigantomachia attacks one of the sides and ends up, like, smashing into a wall where Eri and Magni were, and, like, Magni actually gets injured by this, and whenever, goes for the second attack, like, Magni actually goes to, like, basically topple Eri over just to cover her so that the debris won't squish her. Like, Magni's trying to push herself up so that the debris and her body weight alone won't squash them. This Gigantomachia dude is out for blood. And Izuku, realizing what's going on, having to deal with his lady love, Magni, and, the closest thing he can think of to a daughter, in his eyes, Eri, Gigantomachia is threatening that. And Izuku does not like that. So he's just like, a Gigantomachia. And he's basically just like, hey, Bigfoot! And Gigantomachia would just be like, who you calling Bigfoot? And Izuku's like, oh, please, I'll be here all week. But you won't. And he just spreads out, like, several different elemental spells and rains down, like, bullet hell upon Gigantomachia. Like, just overheating Gigantomachia's systems. Like, basically, everything that is Gigantomachia is, like, overheated and completely disintegrated. Just like ultimate bullet hell released. And the thing he said, like, right before doing this, the thing Izuku said right before doing this is, "Get ready to have a bad time." And so, yeah. Wow. Well, he was indeed having a bad time getting freaking disintegrated. And so, redestro, people would report, like, Gigantomachia has been completely obliterated by this dude. Are you sure it's wise to go to war with these guys? Like, they're starting to remanufacture the cork-erasing bullets. They're starting to do it again. At even faster rate. I mean, it's not as painful, so not as much fighting. And Eri isn't really trying to run away at all, so a lot more time to be manufacturing quirk destroying bullets. So it will also be a lot faster manufacturing since Eri wouldn't be fighting. Because the process has been made painless by Izuku sort of creating a way to do this that involves manipulating the life stream inside Eri's body and, like, just eject some blood sample out. And these cork-destroying bullets, like, the originals were only, like, they were, like, temporary erasure. These bullets are permanent erasure. So, yeah. Basically. And there's, like, getting, like, a lot of Yakuza members, like, rallied behind this. Like, they just saw how Gigantomachia got his ass beat. And so, all of a sudden, all of the Yakuza are behind Izuku on this one. They're like, yeah, 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 yeah. And Izuku decides, I'll have Overhaul be the general for this little thing. However, I shall be... How do you say it? Basically, like, how should I say this? The new king. No, God. I shall be God. And Overhaul shall be king. And my Magni here will be goddess. Harry will be our demigod. So, yeah. Overhaul will indeed rule you in a way of someone who instructs battle strategy. However, we will rule overall, especially me, myself, and I. And he would just be like boss. And so that's how it will be, basically. Izuku will just be telling him, I'm going to be God. My Magni here is going to be a goddess. The goddess. And little Eri here is going to be our little demigod. And Overhaul here can be a supreme ruling general. And Overhaul's just like, okay, supreme ruling general. And basically, Izuku's like, but the supreme ruling general still has to answer to his god. That isn't correct, Chisaki. And Chisaki's like, yeah, I know I have to answer to you. You don't have to rub it in my face. And so basically they will just keep this well-oiled train moving. And over time, they would basically... Izuku would kind of consider, like, the Yakuza members to be like his angelic army. His angelic army. Izuku truly does indeed believe that he is part of true divinity. That he is truly God level. You know, God tier level. And he proves this by just dropping a meteor on their base while they be chilling. Like dropping a meteor on the Meta Liberation Army's base while they be chilling. And Redestro would just be like, what the? And he wouldn't even have time to get out of his little swivel chair. And he would just get squashed and then exploded. So, yeah, obviously you can see that Izuku overall, his belief that he is a part of some supreme divinity. Well, technically, he is the new Sephiroth. So, he isn't technically wrong. There wouldn't really be anyone left to oppose him. So, the Yakuza, basically, their name would be changed, because Izuku would want the name to be changed, to the Order of Sephiroth. Yes, the Order of Sephiroth. I mean, if he is the big guy in this whole thing, I mean, it should be named after him. It's going to be his order, you know, his way or the highway. His way or nothing. So, Izuku will just know that he sits on a throne on top of the world, with no one to oppose him. And truly, he would think about everything that happened to get him to this very moment. And he would just be like, there's simple things in life, I guess. Don't you think so too, my dearest Magni? And that's when Magni would be like, yeah, the simple things. And they would just share a smooch, as it would be the hand motion swipe and a curtain call would be sent. Curtain call, lights, camera, action, off. Like, curtain call all this. At 21 minutes. Anyways, Alan Ziadas's Production Maverick is OUT out of here. Your boys like, favorite, subscribe, something in the comment section. And I'm a bounce. For the final time on this series, it seems. Bye-bye.